So now people get to hear me yell instead of that group of people hearing me yell. I don't know, maybe I can even move all the way over here. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, this area was complaining that they couldn't see the bottom, so now I can't see the bottom either, so I can adjust because now I can't see it either. That way I can see kind of what they're seeing. All right, so we got everywhere down to circles. So we'll finish up with circles, and then we'll move into lines. All right, so as far as circles go, circles aren't a huge deal. We just basically cover them because they're there. But they're not a huge part of our curriculum. You cover them in geometry more than we cover them here. What you need to know about circles is the algebraic formula. I guess you guys cover them in Algebra 2 wherever you do conics, if you did conics in Algebra 2. They're kind of veering away from doing conics in Algebra 2. So that's the formula for circles. This is your center. And R is your radius. So if you go graph it, out here someplace you have your center. And then normally when we graph it, what we do is we count out in each direction R. And then we connect those points to make our circle. So that's the basics. So I have a couple examples, and then we would have been done with this yesterday. Okay, so for example 5, I just gave you basic, here's the center, here's the radius, write the equation. The only thing I wanted to make sure of is whenever you put these points into the formula, you have to do the opposite because there's minus signs in the formula. So this would be x minus 4 squared plus y minus 6 squared equals 2 squared, which is 4. So you'll have some problems on your homework that are really just that basic. Here's the center, here's the radius, write the equation. All right, anyone still need that?
1 sec.
Okay. Yeah, there are times whenever I start going too fast. Anytime I go too fast, tell me to stop or slow down or anything else. Okay, we good? All right, you'll have some other questions that will give you endpoints of the diameter and ask you to write the equation for the circle. Now, we need a couple pieces of information. We need the center and we need the radius. Oh, how do I find the center? Midpoint. Go ahead, blurt them out. It's fine. I'm really bad at looking for hands up in the air, so you guys are totally okay to blurt out answers. So midpoint.
1 and 5.
Probably. I'll believe you. I just want to get it written down. Okay, so that's 2 divided by 2, which is 1. That's 10 divided by 2, which is 5. So that would be the center of my circle. You'll find out I like color coding. Color coding is fun. Okay, now my radius, how do I find that? Distance formula. Now, I could find the distance formula using the diameter, but since I have my midpoint, I could use that also, because that would directly give me my radius. If I use my diameter, after I found it, I would just have to divide it by 2. Either one would work. Some people would say you need to use your diameter because what if you messed up your midpoint? Then you'd mess up your radius also. Personally, I don't care. I mean, it's totally up to you.
How would you get it for using the midpoint?
Using the midpoint, whenever you use this, you just use this and one of those points, and that's automatically your radius. Because your radius is distance from the center to the outside.
So you could take like 4, 7, -2 or 3, like any of these numbers and just add it aside.
Yeah, so I would take 4 minus 1 squared plus 7 minus 5 squared. And that's my radius. Because it's distance from the center to the outside. Or again, you could do the diameter and then just divide it by 2. So that's 3 squared is 9. That's 2 squared is 4. So my radius is square root of 13. So whenever I put it in here, I have to square it, so it's just going to be 13. Because remember to go here, that's r squared. So square root of 13 squared is 13. Okay, last one, just wanted to graph. Okay, so taking from this, what's my center? 3, -2. So there's my center. What's my radius? Close. Square root of 12, which is about 3 point something, right? It's going to be close to 3.5. Because I know square root of 9 is 3, square root of 16 is 4, 12 is about in the middle of that. Since I'm graphing, it doesn't really matter because, you know, if it comes out to be 3.46 blah, 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 I can't graph that. There's no way I can be that precise. Because all the more precise I can be is to go 1, 2, 3, and then somewhere in the middle of there. So 1, 2, I lost count. 1, 2, 3, and somewhere in the middle of there. Since I hand drew this graph, it looks terrible anyway. This is going to be more of an oval than a circle. Usually whenever we're being really specific with graphs, I'm going to have graph paper. With this, I just wanted to get a quick sketch, so I just hand drew these. So there's my awesomely terrible circle. So a lot of times they're not going to give you, especially in this class, they're not going to give you a whole number of radiuses. They're going to give you something that's going to come out to be a decimal. That's fine. Just, you know, you're going to be somewhere in between. Just guesstimate. All right, so homework assignment for this one. I meant to give this to you yesterday, but we ended like right at the end of class. Because I figured if I gave it to you yesterday, you could at least get started on it. Because circles makes up a very small part of that assignment, but woulda, shoulda, coulda.